Dave from the Redneck Garage. I'm out here in my storage building. I've been working on this for like the last 3 days. Here's a few clips of that where we started. Alright, here's my old storage unit. There's a 22R that one day I'm going to rebuild. That's the one that I let starve for oil. I just bought another block. But that one's ready to be rebuilt. The head's still good, been reworked. We got new seats. These are the seats that are going in the Jeep build now. There's the top for it. There's some best top stuff. Man, I don't know. Let me tell you, this is no fun trying to move all this crap that you've hoarded, stuff you should have thrown away years ago, and some good stuff out of the way. So I'm going to continue working on that. It's slowing me down. All right, 9 years. Gotten to almost $200 a month, and it is cleaned out. And I had to bust my butt to get that done. But she was real sweet, said she would sweep it out if I just got all the big stuff out. So super cool. I'm done. I'm moved out. We're finished. Almost 9 years of this storage building. Wow. Well, here's the new storage building. There's a bunch of seats that I got to put in the new Jeep. A 22R engine that one day I'll rebuild before I die, we hope. I realized that in these storage buildings there's no vertical space. Everything's sitting on the floor, so if you want more space you got to put in some shelves. So I'm probably going to buy a few more shelves for it, but it's a lot more organized. I threw a bunch of crap away, and I'm pretty happy with it. So there you go. Alright, I've been working on this back end, and I can tell you that it's cattywampus. You can see that angle of the drive shaft is looks a little bit off to me, and you can see that the spring is sideways. So what I'm going to do is I've got some factory arms here. I'm going to set it up for basically factory and then go from there. Because the frame and the differentials and everything was off, I didn't have the other ones to go off of. So I'm going to just use the factory ones, which are set in length, and set these to that and go from there. Alright, so that's the factory width. I got the bolts run all the way through, and that's correct. So I can go ahead and put that one back on, and then I can work on the top one. Alright, I got the top one out of this side. I'm going to measure it. See what we got. Alright, so I'm getting the angle set on my pinion in the front. I'm going to get the drive shaft and just take a look at it real quick to see what kind of angle we're looking at. But I've got a quarter power in there pushing down, and then I'm just going to adjust my A-arms to fit when I get it where I want it to be. All those are going to do is going to adjust the pinion angle up and down of the axle itself. And these are going to be as far as like the orientation of the axle. So we're going to set these at stock, and Nick can adjust those at the alignment shop when I go there. He can take a look and see if it needs to be adjusted. It'll also make the axle move in and out. So I'm thinking that looks pretty good. I'm going to get the axle out and take a look. Well, I can tell you that one on the other side there, from looking at the adjustment on this one and that one, it needs to go out a little bit. The drive shaft is really so tight I can't even get it in the yoke. So that's bad. It needs to come back a little bit more, and I could probably come back a little bit on this one too and get the whole axle to shift about a ½ inch. This would be my guess, but I still have to get, I've got to get that side over there adjusted where it's the same distance as this one, which is stock. Alright, so here's the game plan. I've got a come along strap here on the axle, so I'm going to jack up on the bottom to allow it to move, because it's sitting on the jack stands, it won't move anywhere. Yeah, I got the arm off, and the axle actually did come back some, and the drive shaft dropped down, so it actually torqued it around. I'm going to set this up just like I did the other one on the factory mount, so I know they're exactly the same. Holy crap! I got this one on backwards too. I got to take it off and flip it around where this is on the bottom. I mean, that's on the top, that's on the bottom. It's got an angle to it, it's not straight. I didn't even look at it when I put it back on. Dang it! Alright, I got the top bolt in this one with the adjustment up at the front like it's supposed to be. Had to flip that around. And you can see how this is on the back. The largest part goes to the top and the flat part goes to the bottom. So now I've got my strap on this side to pull the axle in a little bit to get the bolt in the bottom section here. Alright. So that's much better. You can see the angle of the spring looks about normal. I can tell you that I need to adjust the track bar because it's off. This side is in a lot further than the other, and that's one reason why that spring looks a little cattywampus. A pull-along strap on either side of the axle actually works really well for pulling it in and out. I can go ahead and let it drop down on the jack stands because we're set here. I did go out to 16.5 inches to push it out a little bit further because I was looking at my drive shaft and how far it was mounting to the pinion there, and it was way too close, so it made a huge difference going out about an inch here. Really pushed it back about where it's supposed to be on the drive shaft, so the drive shaft's ready to mount on the rear. Now all I've got to do is put the drive shaft up there and just kind of look at my angles and make sure that the angle's straight. I've got an angle meter that we're going to be looking at on that rear axle to make sure we get it as straight as we can going across from the axle to the transmission. But everything looks really good. It's about to rain, so I'm going to start buttoning it up for tonight, and it's getting dark. But that was a good lick. Now from looking at it, I can see that the axle is just way too far over to the right, and that's one reason this spring isn't laying in like it's supposed to. But it is vertically a lot better than it was. So, super cool. Okay, so I was busting it today. Got the one storage unit cleaned out. $200 less a month that I got to pay. Got the other one buttoned down, everything in it. Got the rear end, the bottom control arms. I got those about straightened out, I believe. At 16.5 inches, that was about the right distance between the transmission mount and the rear pinion as far as like the drive shaft goes in. I got plenty of room, and it looks like it's about the right distance. So that's awesome. Now I just got to set my pinion angle with the top arms where it's at the right angle to the transmission. Once we get it over to the alignment shop, then those fine folks at C&F can actually adjust everything like caster and camber, everything, make sure that it's all squared up. But for now, this is a great starting point. Driving it over there's no issue. Awesome. I got my Shock Top Lemon Shandy, and I love this beer. This is really, really good. It's got a little bit of a lemony flavor to it, but I'm going to put it in my stainless steel Jeep cup and have me a beer. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.